Hello, my sister Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. City creation basically we are discussing one of the topic that is vitamin creation. In this we saw that basically the UN department basically tries to kill this particular person, and they basically attempts 5 times basically. The UN also basically failed the fifth attempt basically. 4 time attempt basically the rich people basically has already made that as the Ambani's, Tatas and Birlas and basically the Amin groups and basically each and every group basically we will say, because each and every rich people are connected with each other basically. Then the Tata groups, Hindi group, that is the Brahma Kumari groups, each basically tried 4 attempts basically, and then basically the UN group also done the fifth attempt basically. In this fifth attempt basically also they failed basically. Now basically what are the things going to happen? See basically this is very dangerous story basically, and this is really connected also basically with some of the examples basically. Now basically the blood group basically, that is the blood group owner basically gets the information that basically from his one of the blood group basically, one of the member basically of his blood group basically got 5 attempts basically, and in this basically the UN also basically attacked this particular person basically. UN also basically attacked to this particular person. So now basically what are the things going to happen that you see basically. So this person basically gets the information. So he have the particular very dangerous power basically, because he is connected directly with the universe and satellite group basically. Now what are the steps basically going to happen basically? So he basically also tries to solve the problem basically, because ultimately the problem is of this person only basically. This person basically is going to get problem in future basically. That's why basically this person basically gets the problem basically. So to solve this, to basically save this particular blood group basically, lots of basically attempts were happened basically. Reason behind this is basically because his blood group basically is connected with the 100 crore people basically, and 100 crore people, that means lots of design basically can be created from this 100 crore blood cells data basically, that is the energy basically you can say. So you can just imagine basically it's not so easy to create the design also basically, because see basically one simple person basically problem basically connects to the design basically, each and every single person basically, because the problem basically of this particular person basically, it was not actually his problem basically, it was not actually his problem basically, it was the problem of this particular person basically. So this blood group owner basically was going to face this problem basically in future basically, so that's why basically this group basically tried lots basically, then basically he connects to the problem basically. Now basically things are going to be very dangerous. Why? Because this person is connected with satellites, then basically the galaxies, groups, then basically the other planets groups also. This is very dangerous thing basically, they are connected with the different planets also. Now basically what are the things going to happen basically, see basically. So he started getting the problem basically, this person basically started getting the problem. So now what are the things going to happen basically? This groups basically jumps into the picture, this group jumps into the picture, this group basically jumps into the picture, and Earth planet don't know that basically the Earth planet basically in front of the world basically, whatever the system basically is there, they don't know that basically the other planet is also basically there. That means I have taken one example of basically the, for example in Corona basically more than 50 crore people died basically, but many less people know that basically the people basically who died basically, their bodies are basically dumped into many planets basically, and the planets basically are directly connected with the satellites. So the body basically is dumped into, as in that basically 50 crore people basically died, so for 10 lakh people in the one planet, 10 lakh into 2 per second number planet, like this basically the 50 crore people basically was divided, that is the death people basically. So the bodies basically are taken from the Earth planet and shifted to the many planets basically. How basically they do that basically, might be some satellites also basically, but it basically can't be say 100%. So now basically they shifted their bodies to the, now basically the bodies are going to be dumped basically. Dump means they basically converts into the skeleton. Few body basically doesn't convert into the skeleton. That basically the satellite's requirement basically. Then basically the satellite connects to the each and every bodies basically. These few body basically are converted already into the skeleton. There basically the body creation starts basically from the satellites basically. Then basically the body creation started. Then basically each and everything basically happens. So like this basically the other planets basically got created from the planets basically, and from the body basically which has taken basically, that is from the Earth planet basically. So this was basically the other planet. So basically the other planet also basically is connected with this particular blood group cell person basically. So these groups also basically connects, and these groups are who basically, those basically groups who basically are killed by 50 crore number basically. So whenever the big incidents basically happens in the world, and basically whatever big incident means minimum basically the people died are in crore basically, that converts into the big incidents basically. So the big incidents basically connects, then each and every human body basically dumps into the many planets, and then basically they start their generation basically in Earth planet, in other planets. Now basically what happened basically, the other planets group also basically connects to this, are connected with this particular person basically, because the blood group owner basically is up to that level basically, that's why he connects. Now basically what are the things going to happen? Now basically he's started getting the problem basically. Now what are the things going to happen basically? Satellite group basically sees that particular person basically is here getting lots of problem basically. Galaxy groups also basically sees, other planets also see the problem basically. They basically don't see the problem from the eye basically. They basically gets the problem basically of this particular person basically in the form of disease basically, in the form of energy basically, because this person energy is connected with this everything basically. So the chaining system you see basically. So see the chaining system, the most dangerous topic basically I am discussing. See the chaining system. Now basically the thing connected to the this group basically. This groups also basically gets the problem, and the problem basically when this group basically gets the problem, then basically their energy also generates the problems basically. Then basically it's a opposite system basically, that is the other planets also basically gives the data to the Earth planet. So the problem data basically which was captured by the Earth planet, then basically the problem data which was captured by the Earth planet basically, they doesn't have the solution of that particular problem, because the problem basically was this basically. Problem basically was this basically. This one person basically got the problem that connected to the this particular problem basically. This group basically connected this person basically is connected with the galaxies basically, and the galaxies basically started getting problem, and then basically the problem basically came back to the particular Earth planet basically. Earth planet gets the energy basically from the other planets also basically. The problem basically connected to the Earth planet, and Earth planet basically don't have the solution basically, because they failed here basically. They failed here basically. So see basically one failure basically connects to up to very deep basically. So here basically Supreme Courts, High Court, they all basically are responsible for this problem basically which is going to occur basically now. Now basically this group basically started creating problem. Their problem basically connects to the disease basically, and then basically the energy basically are connected to the Earth planet. That energy basically doesn't have any solution basically, that is the disease basically, that it doesn't have any solution basically. So that connotes to disease basically. In this basically disease, more than 50 crore people basically died. As in that basically that disease is corona disease. That is corona disease. 50 crore people basically died. Here basically the international court, everybody is responsible. Why? Because the problem which was in the Earth planet, that only converted to the, that only basically passed to the other planets, and that basically that problem basically came back to the Earth planet with the form of disease basically, and 50 crore people basically died here basically. So next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about these 50 crore people basically died and who are responsible for this death.